Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Muse Jester. My name is Junior. We are looking into Mezco's Superman, the Man of Steel 112th collection. So we're just continuing our process of determining whether I should collect Mezco or Mafex. Alright, so as you can hear, this is a tin box. This is one of their premium offerings, so it's a little bit more expensive. When I pre-ordered this was $125. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Obviously, for tin boxes, I won't be getting rid of them because they're tin, they're premium quality. And when I reviewed the Christopher Reeve 1978 from Mezco, I was really hoping that it was something like this as well. It's just much easier to store. So this is the $125 premium offering from Mezco. And when you open up the box, this is kind of how I felt like when I first opened up my Mezco. It's like, holy crap. Like, look at the amount of stuff that you get from Mezco. There's basically 7 heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many pairs of hands? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pairs of hands. I mean 5 pairs of hands. This looks like the Phantom Zone projector. A couple of bases for the crystals over here. A base for the crystals. Some glass effects. And then I haven't even gotten to the base and other effects over there. It's just bombards you with stuff to look at. And you have to wonder, is this worth $125? Well, just looking at it, yeah, it is kind of worth $125. If you look at 112 scale heads out there, they're going for $20, $25, and they're overpriced as far as I'm concerned. I would say each head should be $15, but let's cut that down. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. That's just for the heads alone at $15 each. And then this one's gonna be like 105 already. So this is 125. And then the body, if you pay for the body for like 30 bucks, that's 135. And then the pairs of hands, even if you sell one pair of hands for $5 or $10. This is just me breaking it down. I don't do that kind of stuff, but if you want to break it down, you can even go to make it even worthwhile. Well, let's put the heads at $5 each. 5 at 7 heads, $35. Let's put the body as 20, 25, and that's a crazy, pretty low. The body and the costume, let's put that at 40. All right, 40, 35, 75, and then the pairs, all these pairs of hands, let's put at 10. That's 85. Let's put the accessories at another 10. That's 95. And then the tin can. The tin can, I have to put a price in a tin can of 15 bucks. That's a lot. That's a lot of price per price comparison that you're getting out of this. And that's just breaking it down, and at a very low price to sell, right? So now let's look at the value. What are you getting for this stuff for $125? You're getting the quality of product that Mezco is known for. And now this is me again. I'm gonna have to refer to this 1989 Batman Keaton from Mezco. This is me talking about their quality of production when it comes to paint application, when it comes to sculpting, and when it comes to the use of fabric clothing, right? I'm not talking about the use of the rubberized body, and that's where they failed in the Batman 1989 production, where it was only the second time they produced a rubber body with a metal skeleton inside for articulation, and they failed on that miserably. The second failure in that part on the 1989 Batmobile is the follow-through. Their customer service was really, really bad. There's no communication, and you're left with 2 or 3 months that you're wondering what's going on. So a 3 months delay to solve your solution for a rubberized body, you're thinking, okay, they went to the factory to fix the issue of what's going on, and they found out about it. Because this is the second offering, which means that they had the same problem with the Alien, even much worse so. So they're thinking, if they're delaying solution for 2 or 3 months to get solution for the rubberized body, you're thinking they're gonna correct it, but no. They're offering, their solution was to just send you another body which is as flawed as the first one. Now, granted, I have to put this in with the 1989 Batman Mezco offering. They ended up giving me 2 extra bodies, and the third one was finally the last one that actually worked, where you can move it around and there's no problems or anything. But that's over a year and a half worth of waiting to see, just to fix the issue. And I ended up getting 3 bodies, and that one had like 4 faces, so I ended up in kind of a plus side. But still, though, it was just very, very frustrating. And this is the Batman was the final straw that made me quit Mezco, in a sense. But it wasn't the first fault, in my estimation, of what the company did. So we'll go. The first one was they were just using way too much the same similar bodies, squat and wide, and I'll show that with a comparison. And then the second one was the exclusivity that they're creating, where they're creating exclusive products that's hard to get on a timed release edition. Oh, no, it's not even a timed release edition. It was like first come, first served, meaning that if you didn't get it quick enough, then you lose out. And very in-demand styles of certain characters were put behind that exclusivity wall. And that's just the straw that broke my back, and I started to stop supporting Mezco. The Batman 1989 was just the last one. This just pissed me off. Anyway, let's go back to this one, because now we're trying to get out of that ditch that the 1989 Batman offering came from. So we're starting to see again the value of what you're getting from Mezco. Again, this is just an enormous bombardment of stuff to get for 125. So let's see. I'm not gonna get it out of the tray. What we're gonna do is just basically go through really quickly the close-fisted hands over there. An open gripping hands. You can see the wrinkles on that. The crystals, the globes, and we'll look at the heads like this for now. Look at that creepy head. A smiling face for Superman, finally. And it's a good smiling face too. A stern face. And then this face is very similar to that smiling face, but a little less so. Base, same basic simple base that Mezco always gives. There's batteries over here. This is for the I-beam effect that you can put in one of the faces. I don't know what this one looks like. The same one. That should plug into this part. This one, I don't know what this is for. Seems to be a split in the middle. It looks like you can put it in on his fists. A starro that you can put in on his face. And I think this is called, I'm pretty sure this is the black orchid. That's supposed to give you, oh, it's bendy. Look at that. So you can wrap it around his chest. So the black orchid is part of the DC mythos that supposed to give you your fondest desires, but it traps you and it feeds on you as well. So here's the figure out of the box. Very nice Superman. The only thing that you have to expect at a small scale is because of the way they make their capes. The capes are wired at the very edge over here, but you can't help it. It's gonna bunch up here on the shoulders, so you can't help that. So let's look at the articulation on the body. Let's fix it a little bit more. When it comes to looking up, it comes up okay. This is a new thing that I'm experiencing with Mezco, where the head really pops out too easily. So this is just on the movement on the neck, from the head to the neck. And let's see if we can get a little bit more from the neck to the body. No, we can't. Going back. So this is the head to the neck, looking down, and then movement on the neck a little bit more. This is a little bit out of the socket. So they need to make this peg a little bit longer, because the neck is so thick, and it's good. It's a good visual for having the thick neck, because that's the way it is in the cartoons. But man, you gotta be careful when you're moving the neck. But that's the movement to the side. That's the movement to the side. I can see now the difference with this fabric, the way the joints are constructed. It's really tight, but it's smooth. That really helped the articulation on the Superman recovery suit to maintain the pose, even though it's all friction. The movement from the upper chest to the abdomen is about that much. Sideways, about that much. Now, including the waist joint, you get a little bit more than before. A lot more going back. A lot more side to side. This fabric, unfortunately, is very similar to the Hot Toys fabric that they used, where this fabric will catch on any of your fingernails, dry skin, and it's gonna rip it, and it's gonna create a burr. As you can see over here, it's already occurring. So again, it looks like Mezco does not employ drop down joints, and I can see why, because of the tightness of the joints that they're using. I think drop down joints will make it too loose in the future. I'm only talking about that now because I will be referring to that with our comparisons later on a later video. So the leg can only go basically 90 degrees horizontal. There's no twist at the boots. There is a twist at the thigh. Nice range. The neck and the knees are double jointed. The ankle goes up like so, down like so. We'll have a slight twist on the ankle, and that should be fine, just to make sure that you can put both feet on the ground planted firmly. So this is my kind of my favorite pose to pull off right now. This is interesting. So again, this tends to pop off, and that's beginning to be irritating. Just gotta be careful with it. So here's a comparison of the Christopher Reeve Superman body. Can you see how much more closer the arm is on the Superman Christopher Reeve, where it seems to go inside? Is there a butterfly joint? There isn't. I think the reason why the Superman Reeve is able to go much more to the inside of the body is because of how the construction of the chest. It's much more slimmer than this one in the Man of Steel. This is for the Christopher Reeve. That's to simulate a more proportionate body to scale to the human body, but it's able to achieve this pose, and while this one ends up struggling with it. So I think you can tilt back the head a little bit more by really pushing the neck off to the back, and then kind of making sure that the head is firmly attached, or you're pushing it down to the neck as you're moving it back, so you can kind of move it a little bit more. We'll just basically do some really quick posing. I'm not the best poser when it comes to this kind of stuff. The Amazing does a whole lot of excellent poses. What I'm trying to figure out now when it comes to these capes is figuring out how to get it to lay flat. Now remember, there is a wire inside, so what I did here is just press really hard to make sure that wire is as flat as possible to achieve that look that you're seeing right now. So that looks a little bit better, right? Unfortunately, I really don't like how this thing is coming along. Again, this is just a fault of the 112 scale, and then I would prefer more if this was sitting a little bit lower. To give this space a little bit more room to breathe. But as you can see, it's actually stitched into the whole uniform. Can he achieve a natural hands on hips? The joints on this one, surprisingly, is stiffer than the one in the recovery suit. So you just gotta be careful how you're posing it. To be honest, I feel like this head might be a little bit too big for the body that Mezco is using. But look, there's like from here to here it looks really good, but then it suddenly becomes kind of stubby looking from here to here. Like it seems like this head should be on a 7-inch scale figure. So this is the first offering of Superman that they had, Mezco. A lot of people didn't like the fact that the S symbol was a hard plastic and that this is printed on. I was okay with it. But look at that. It seems like so here are the improvements that I think Mezco did with their body. Notice that the shoulders in this one is wider. This basically made it look like it was wide and squat, their figures. That's one of the reasons why I kind of this was one of the criticisms I had of the body. Now look at the shoulders in this one. It's a lot less wide. So it's much better. And I think that all they changed was this joint over here. Now notice the head size on this one is actually smaller in here than this one. Here's a Henry Cavill Superman in comparison. They still have the wide shoulders. This is the crotch problem that they were having that I didn't really like, because it really looked like a very loose, and now they've found out a solution for that, and it looks much more better than that. Now even with this, even though this one has proportions scaled to the human body as close as possible in terms of the head to the body, this head is as smaller than the head that they're using on the comic books, and that shouldn't really be the case. With the comic books, certain artists, one of the tricks they employed when they're creating a more superheroic body is to draw the head smaller relative to the body proportions, and that's one of the tricks they use to make it a superheroic physique. But this one doesn't do that. This one actually is more how I would say a human body proportions naturally would look like, even if it's muscled. So also notice that this one, the peg is not included with the heads, while this one, each head has its own peg. I know this is not going to look good, but I just wanted to see, do you see how it changes the proportions of the entire body by making the head smaller? It just makes the body look a lot more massive, right? But I do prefer this head more. This is closer towards Dan Jurgens style, or very square-jawed face. I kind of wish it was a little bit smaller, I think. I've read the instructions, and let's look at this face really quickly, because this is the face that does require batteries to be put in for the light up effect. What you do is, once you pull it out of the body, you'll hold it here on the peg and just kind of push this like up in this direction. See? And then you'll put the batteries in here. Wow. That is really bright. It's really quite amazing how you do that. Now I have an interesting idea. Is this? No, it doesn't. Weird. You would have thought that they'd done the same trick here, so you can put the eyes in this one and then so now we're gonna look at this one. Basically, you insert it this through the eyes. I mean, that's really amazing to look at. But it just seems like it's a missed opportunity not to be able to put the light up feature in here so that this thing will blast out. How would that look? It doesn't really travel far. It would have been too weak, but still. But man, look at those eyes in the dark. Yeah, man, that's really bright. Even with my full lights on, it still shows. This thing bunching up because of the wires and the cape. So this is actually called the Black Mercy plant. I thought it was like called the Black Orchid. It's an interesting gimmick. You just put it in there on his chest. You can technically use that for any of your Mezco or any 112 scale figure. That's cool. And then the Star of Face. So here are all the kryptonites. So here are all the kryptonites safely ensconced in the container over here. There was a time when I knew all the mythos of what each kryptonite does to Superman. Let's try. The green kryptonite weakens Superman. The red kryptonite is more dangerous because this kills Superman. This looks like the gold kryptonite, which would make him human. I believe the blue kryptonite is what restores his powers. And this, I don't know. Crystal kryptonite. There is an issue of one of his comics that actually talks about what each one does. And this is before the Man of Steel. It's kind of weird. This is from the old Silver Age storyline. I'm not sure if what I said was true, but it's something like that. I'm pretty sure red kryptonite was more dangerous. I just have this deep intrinsic feeling that this is really, really bad. This is bad, but this is really, really bad. So I think red kryptonite is what kills Superman. Or it's a poison. It's a poison to him. So the green kryptonite, the moment you take it away, his powers return, but the red kryptonite kills him. Wow, that's surprising. They retained the bullet thing going on with his chest. It's surprising because I really can't feel where the metal is on his chest. It seems to be close to where the S shield is. That's an interesting surprise. And then, of course, the Phantom Zone projector in the very end. There's no light up features in this one. It's just very simple. This is a nice addition too. So this has to be one of the very few items where I'm gonna have to say the price that you're paying for this at $125 is increasing the value that you're getting out of the figure, because I believe the amount of accessories, the amount of options, the amount of play options, the interchangeability of different expressions that you can possibly ask for is included with this figure. Any kind of it's kind of like, usually when we gripe about increasing the playability factor of a figure, we just want, more hands to make it more expressive. Here, or we never even get to say, well, we need more heads to be more expressive. Yeah, we do. Maybe like an extra head, usually 2 heads, but to have 7 heads included with a figure, that's just amazing. That's just mind-boggling to me. And then you have the Black Mercy, you have the Starro, and then you have the eye effects that you can plug into this one. Not just one, but 2 different types of eye effects. And then the Kryptonite. Putting all those together, it's just amazing that the price for this is $125. Now, the feature of having the bullet bouncing off of the S shield being magnetized, I didn't even see that coming. It's been a while since I've read the features included with this product. Now, what were kind of a few things that was disappointing? I know from previous experience with Mezco, and not just Mezco, but 112 scale figures that has wired effects, this is going to be a problem. It really is. It's just, the smaller the figure, the more puffy these is going to look. There's just no avoiding it. The use of fabric that they used on this figure, unfortunately, is not the best. As you can see, and this is on a 112 scale, you can already see parts of it where it's been pulled. I don't think this was caused by me, because I don't have anything that does it, and I think this was just caused by factory handling that's just pulling up parts of it. So if you're going to handle it with white gloves, unfortunately. This is in contrast to the material that they used on the resurrection suit, the recovery suit, because this suit is amazing. I'm surprised at the elasticity of the suit and how it restores to the original look once you've put back the figure, compared to what's going on here. Watch this one, and then you pull it back, you can still see that it didn't get restored to the original look. While this one, put it back and it's restored. I do see now with this one where it's already starting to crinkle. So this looks like it's one of those materials where the longer you leave it there, the more it will imprint that history. The articulation, unsurprisingly, how the articulation feels, it feels really good. And I understand now how in this body it flows much easier. This one's actually stiffer than that, which is kind of weird, because the fabric in this one I don't think would offer as much resistance as the black suit would. This fabric is much more thinner, so it's really solid joint. It's not gonna, you're not gonna have a problem just sitting it up like that. This is the pose that I had it on, and it's so small, so light, and the joints are so strong, it won't have any problems with maintaining that stance or balance. This particular item from Mezco, I would have to say, supersedes the value from the price alone from what you're getting with this product. This exceeds beyond my expectations of what I want as more. Having 7 heads, that's beyond what I want. Maybe 3, maybe 4 heads, but 7? Having 5 pairs of hands, that's kind of what I'm expecting. I do want something like that when it comes to $100 figures. Having accessories, the Kryptonite accessories, that's good too. The Phantom Zone projector, that's good. The Black Mercy, that's good. So for $100 figure, what I probably would have wanted would be this head that has the eye effects, an angry head like this, a smiling face like this, and maybe a screaming face like possibly this one. I wouldn't necessarily want this for $100. That's beyond my expectations. So like I said, seven heads, beyond my expectations. A light up head that has that much strength, that's way beyond my expectations. This item from Mezco and its offerings, for what it has, goes way beyond my expectations of what a $100 figure should be for a 6-inch scale. It goes even beyond the 125 expectations. That's not even including my love for the character of Superman. That's not even including the fact that I'm amazed at the strength of the articulation, the material that they use, how easy it is to remove the hands. There's absolutely no fear that the hand might peg. Mezco putting a peg for each head, so that's amazing. Disappointing is how easy the heads come off the necks. At least this one, actually you kind of need to put force on it, so you can't let's see, can you really flick it off with one finger? You can, but so that's disappointing. I was expecting this bunching up on because of the scale, but it's still disappointing to experience it. So I'm reviewing this right after this one. This one was kind of disappointing because of the head situation where it was popping off. And the fact that even though it comes with 4 heads, or 3 heads, or 2 of the heads with the bearded long hair was kind of not what I wanted. This is the reverse of that. 7 heads way beyond what I wanted, but it's got all the expressions that I want. So the cool thing about this is the interchangeability factor that you can expect from Mezco products. So basically, there are parts of the Reign of Superman editions where it's not evident that he's wearing that long of a hair. Certain artists did not depict him with long hair, so you can technically use the other heads from this one because they're actually being the Superman from this one being depicted from the same era. So that's a bonus for me for having 7 heads of this one that I can use in this one. So in the end, what I'll have to say is that if you can get this still at the $125 price, get it. This is an amazing piece from Mezco. It goes beyond what I expected for almost every category except for the articulation range. I'm going to talk about that later on with comparisons between this one and the Mafex. But this is amazing figure. This does scale with your Marvel Select. Marvel Legends. But unfortunately, this is $25, and this is $100. Even though you're getting a lot. So, and it's comparative style, but man, $100. I can't afford to get all DC characters for $100. I might push it. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the whole Justice League just to get this kind of quality. Also notice what I was talking about the head. Notice the head on this one is much smaller and this one's bigger. Proportionately, the bodies are the same, but this one has a little bit more of a heroic look because the head is smaller relative to the body, while this one, the Mezco one, the head is bigger relative to the body, or I should say the head is more in scale relative to the body, thus diminishing the super heroic look. So my final thoughts on this one: if you can get this item, this product for still at the 125, get it. It's not a brainer. If you love Superman, and you love being able to play with your toy without any fear, then get this one. The only thing is that is the use of the fabric. You have to be careful when you're touching it. Just make sure your hands are not dry or not doesn't have anything that might snag on the fabric, and you're good to go. This is a great product. I now expect this type of offering for any Mezco products that's gonna go beyond 125 with just fabric, because yeah, this is what I want now. For a $100 figure, then it's different. So I'm gonna say for $125 for each DC character, if Mezco were to offer it, and with this much stuff, I'm probably gonna buy it, because there's so many things in here. I'd have to be choosy with the character, but if it was just a Superman character, like if they were to produce a Supergirl with this many with this many options at 125, instant buy for me. Any Superman character, the Superboy, Eradicator, Cyborg Superman, Steel, yeah, those would be instant buy for me. Lex Luthor, man, I wish they would do Lex Luthor. So this gets me excited. So that's it for my review. Stay tuned. The next day I'm going to be reviewing a Mafex product, and then I will do a comparison between Mezco and Mafex, and we're going to talk about $100 figures, 6-inch scale, or we're going to talk about $100 figures in the 112 scale, and what are your thoughts, and where are you going to spend your money. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying along with the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it informative, and I will see you on the next review. Thank you and goodbye.